All right, devlog 11. So remember in my last devlog when I said I only had like maybe 3 things to add? Um, I lied. I added like 14 other things. Some of them are just fixes, um, but don't worry. Everything is finished. I've built the APK and it's on side quests. So if you want to just skip the rest of this and go play it right away, you can do that. I might make a tutorial for how to install it, but side quest is fairly straightforward, and there's like a billion other tutorials how to get games in general there. So um, shouldn't be necessary. But just a few list things is I've added a lot more to the menu. To start with, I added this show FPS thing. So now you can see what your FPS is. And I've also added that when you pause menu, like when you open the menu, it actually pauses the game. So like if I go like this, okay, it doesn't quite pause sounds yet, which I might need to fix that later. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but um, yeah, you're not like moving anymore, so your menu is actually static. Makes things a lot better, which is nice. And then I improved the half pipe experience. I added some like triggers that kind of give you some extra boost when you're going up the side, and I made it a bit less steep, so you don't like slide down it so easy. So I tried to make it more like the intentional like game experience where you're like jumping up one side doing tricks or something, instead of just kind of like trying to but failing. But I also added these tutorials and controls. So you've got a nice control diagram that shows you what all the controls do and what they are. Nothing so far. And I also have these tutorials. So if you just hit play tutorial 1, all right, so here's tutorial 1. It just starts playing pre-recorded videos that kind of explain the basic and advanced mechanics. They're not the best because sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things, but they'll do for now. I might redo them if I can figure out a better way to explain the base mechanics to non-snowboarders. And a tutorial, menu pauses. I also fixed the issue where you could like grab the other grip with your hand. It still looks like I am, but I'm actually grabbing this left grip. The range is just really far, which I also increased the range. So now like sometimes your board would be a weird angle and then you like wouldn't be able to recontrol your board for some reason, but that should be fixed now. And yeah, controls diagram. I also added a wind sound effect and a wind stream effect, which I'll just want to show that. So if I just kind of go straight forward as I pick up speed, yeah, you can just start hearing it. You start hearing wind howling and you get these little speed lines, which are cool. And the sound and the speed lines increase as you gain speed. So like as you do a jump and you like crest and you're going the slowest, you'll kind of calm down for a moment, which I like. Let's see if I can get a good example. Yeah, it works best if you're going like more straight up. But yeah, the kind of dynamic speed relativity, which also it makes it easier to kind of know how fast you are going, which is important for I did add the landing angle thing I talked about before, which basically, as you go off a jump, you have to land your board kind of in angle, like in the same direction that you're going if you're like landing above a certain speed, basically. It's to kind of like simulate, if you're landing a jump in real life. Okay. Sometimes the time pause messes things up weirdly. Like if you're landing a jump in real life and you go perpendicular, like you can't actually land very easily like that, because you just stop too suddenly and kind of fall over. So it kind of encourages you to pay attention to where you are, especially if you're doing spins or 360s and stuff. And I also added all these sound volumes. That's just kind of master volume, sound effect, and music volume. I also added all these music playlists. So now there's music, yay. Um, and this, I added this rotation speed threshold and speed modifier settings here. And what this basically does is, so my rotation system before, where like if you kind of rotate your snowboard going off a jump, it'll like start an uncontrolled rotation. This affects how fast that is relative. It's like how much your current velocity is multiplied by to get that rotation going. Normally set to about 5. So like if you don't like it when you're spinning really fast, or if you want to be able to do more spins for tricks, you can increase or decrease that. The rotation speed threshold is more how fast you have to be spinning for it to even consider doing the rotation thing at all. So if you set this really high, you really have to be spinning when you're going off of a jump for it to trigger, which can be kind of nice if you're trying to do some like rail grinds where you don't want to start spinning unpredictably. So like lower numbers, more likely you're going to spin, and higher numbers less, basically. And also, there's like a tripoding glitch thing that I fixed earlier. Letting out also, as you can see, I've added a nice skybox and changed lighting settings a little bit, so now it looks nicer, but the performance is still doing good. Oh, I also added, this is kind of the last thing, mostly. I added crash reasons. So now, if you like catch an edge, okay, it doesn't do it the first time because for some reason, I still don't know why this happens. The like trick thing doesn't always show up at the beginning. Yeah, now it's here. So now you can see, well, it said tripod, but for a second it said cotton edge. There we go, cotton edge. So that kind of lets you know why you crash. Like this is like grabbed while touching snow. I have a unique message for basically every type of crash. So like, oh, whoops, I wasn't going fast enough. Maybe if I jump, there we go. So failed landing is that. And then there's also one if you like land a flip too early. So that's basically most of it. And to control music, you got the music volume over here, fairly simple, and you can just choose a playlist. Like rock. This is music from my old game. I plan to put like a credits button or behind here, maybe. I don't know. I need to find some place to put credits. I guess I think all the places didn't actually require it, just appreciated. And these are some like itch music files that I found for free. But I guess I can go check out the half pipe so you can see how that works now. Alright, here we are. Okay, oh, this is probably a way to get started, but there you go. Alright, you can kind of see, it might not be like super noticeable, which is the point, but you can kind of see I now, it's a bit, yeah, okay, I'm just starting my works, but you can see that there's kind of a invisible force that just helps you get up a little bit. The big pipe is still a little bit rough if you don't have any starting speed, so I kind of messed that up a little bit. But if you have some boost, or if you're just going into it correctly, it works a lot better. Woo! Oh man, I had to bend back really far. Ooh, I landed it. I wasn't even looking where I was going. And I caught it. That's embarrassing. Okay. Alright. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Go try out the demo and tell me what y'all think. And also rate it. Please freaking rate it. My last game is like 1,500 downloads and 2 ratings. Please rate the game, anything, please.